Where do we go when it's time to leave? Tell me, honey. Tell me, oh, when we feel, where do we go? The time is near. I have so many things that I feel. Where do we go? Where will we go from here, my dear, my dear? I don't know where we will be. Where do we go when it's time to leave? Tell me, honey. Tell me, oh, when we feel, where do we go? The time is near. Where do we go? Where do we go from here, my dear, my dear? I don't know where we will be. Oh, I feel so far, baby. We can make our own way. I can say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Where do we go?
What up, my YouTube people? Sorry. Last time I realized once I watched the YouTube video, and I apologize before, because my microphone stand was directly blocking the camera, and even though I moved it, it was an obstruction, and it was an eyesore. So I apologize for that last time. But welcome to Straight No Chase at the Talk Show. My name is Fountaine. I'll be your host for this evening. It's just myself in the studio tonight, and I want to jump straight into the title of this podcast video, whatever you want to call it. The Jussie agenda. Most of us are now aware of, because of, the media outcry and all of the, hoopla that's going on about the Jussie Smollett, the young man who was a star of the television series Empire, which I like to call Gangsta Glee, because it's extremely gay and tone to me. And I have nothing against gay people. I have nothing against gay things. I just, that's how I'm just describing Empire, Gangsta Glee. But anyway, it was a situation that happened where he had reported to the media and to the Chicago Police Department that he was assaulted, and racial epithets, homosexual slurs, and things of that nature was spewed at him while, two white men wearing Make America Great hats put a noose around his neck. And a lot of people rallied to his support because they viewed him as, he's not, even in person, his demeanor is not of a violent guy. His demeanor is not of a person that's a troublemaker. But in recent reports, it's come out that the whole story was a bunch of bullshit. It was something that he concocted because he felt he maybe needed more publicity, more notoriety, I guess shock value. He needed something to happen to him so the public would notice him even more. And it's been reported that his goal was to, make more money on the show. He wasn't happy with his $65,000 per episode salary, which is someone's yearly salary. This is what this man was getting per week. And he's part of a huge ensemble cast. It's not like it's like a sitcom where it's 4 or 5 people. I mean, you got maybe 20, 30 people. He's getting $65K, an episode. But anyway, he wasn't happy. So he concocted this, this stunt in order for people to have some sort of empathy to him. For him. Now, here's my thing when I talk about the Jussie agenda. The Jussie agenda is not particularly regulated to the gay homosexual thing that he did. The Jussie agenda is when a person or persons tend to capitalize off of victims. Whereas, let me give you an example. Let's just say with the Me Too movement, there are women out there that were victimized, that were afraid to come forth. It's a lot of stigma attached to certain things. They were afraid to come forth, and they didn't want to tell their story. But once they saw some other people come forth, it was like, okay, the spotlight won't just only be on me. If there is any kind of attack or any type of backlash that comes out, there'll be more people to absorb that type of energy. So they reached out. But recently I was watching another podcast, and Terry Crews, the actor, had came out and said that he too was sexually assaulted by a publicist or something of that nature. And he didn't react, the way people would think he would react, as a 6 foot plus, 200 pound plus, muscular man. He didn't react. And as far as I'm concerned, that was a person, with the Jussie agenda, meaning that you have another agenda, another platform that you probably want to take a stand on, and you're using that to catapult, your voice. Because in terms of Terry Crews, as a man, period, and I'm nowhere near as big as him, but I don't care if I'm established or not. I don't care if I'm up and coming, whatever the case may be. If any male attempts to grab my balls or attempts to do anything sexually towards me, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a problem for one or two reasons. Not because I'm homophobic. that's a bunch of bullshit in reality. I don't have a fear of homosexuals. I don't have a fear of homosexuality. It's just not my thing. But I don't fear it. You know, I don't feel funny if a homosexual is near me or comes around me, shakes my hand or give me a hug. I don't give a fuck as long as it's nothing sexual. It's because that's not my thing. It's the same way if someone offers me a cigarette and because I don't smoke and they offer me a cigarette again, I'm offended only because they're not taking me serious. Not because I'm afraid of cigarettes. I'm not cigophobic or whatever the fuck kind of word I just made up. But my point is, when it comes down to the Jussie agenda, people see something and they say, hey, you know what? I have a chance to get my name attached to that, to either seem like I'm a victim or to even seem like I'm a supporter to something. You feel me? Like I'm attached to it, and something has a national spotlight and you attach your name to it, then anything else that you do is going to be some light shined on that, because whatever you do, like, the media is following you. You know, whatever you're tweeting, whatever you're posting on Instagram or social media, the media is following you. So if you have other projects coming up, if you have other endeavors, charitable things that you're doing that you think people need to know, guess what? Talk about this shit here, get your name attached to the spotlight, and then everything is shined on you in the even greater light. So I think that a lot of people, why the fuck is someone texting me? To the person that's texting me, if you're watching, why the fuck are you texting me or inboxing me and you know I'm on fucking live Facebook and the show? That's some completely dumb shit. Completely dumb and inconsiderate. Do you expect me to stop the motherfucking podcast and say, wait a minute, people, in the middle of the conversation that we're having that I think is serious and it's meaningful, let me answer my text? That's the dumbest shit ever. And I can't see who it is exactly, but please feel free to feel stupid for texting me and you know I'm in the middle of a fucking podcast. Dumbass. Okay, so now back to me being nice. When a person says to themselves, I'm going to concoct this particular plan, this particular scheme, and it's going to, you know, catapult me to another level of notoriety. I'm saying to myself, they have to be selfish, because you have to think about the backlash that comes from behind it. You're actually using the tragedies of other people, right, to benefit yourself. You're using things that have happened to other women. You're using things that have happened to homosexuals. You're using things that have been racially based. And these things have happened to people in real life, like this factual. You know, people have been beaten because of their sexuality. People have been beaten because of their race, because of their gender, whether they're transgender, cross-gender, bend offender, whatever the fuck you want to call it. People have been assaulted violently because someone else disagrees with however they present themselves or however they are. Period, point blank. And you take that platform and you say, well, fuck it, I'm going to align myself with them as a victim. And what the dude Jussie also did was he lit a fuse, because you had a whole bunch of people out there outraged at this. Already there's enough bullshit going on. But then now you have a whole bunch of people that are outraged because this man, they viewed as a victim, right? Made up a story, and people were rallying to support him. Now here's the twofold casualty, because now the next time a person comes out and says something, whether they're celebrity or whether they're average Jane or Joe, the next time someone comes out and says something that really happened to them, it's going to be a serious doubt cast over this particular person's story. People are going to be like, yeah, right, that's that Jussie shit, seen this shit before, yeah, whatever, we got to see the report. I don't believe that bullshit, because someone did it, and they did it so effectively at first, right? Because they were a celebrity and they got huge media coverage, that people, even now still, people want to believe it. And people want to believe it. They want to still hold on to it, because in order for them to disbelieve it, it shows them how gullible they were for accepting it off the rip. See, here's where cognitive dissonance comes in. A person will see something and they'll just accept it because they feel they're supposed to accept it. I feel like I should accept this. I feel like, well, if it didn't happen, it could have happened. And that's good enough for them. That's cognitive dissonance. That's when you hold two opposing viewpoints at the same time. And so now you have a bunch of people, and I've watched people's timelines and on other social media platforms, and you have people saying, well, if it didn't happen to Jussie, it happened to someone else and it went unreported. Like, you're making the fucking excuse because you just don't want to say your dumbass was wrong for jumping the gun and just accepting it because maybe you identify with Jussie as a homosexual or as a black male. And I'm going to say this here. As people, we need to really just stop accepting shit and supporting shit just because we feel we're supposed to. There are numerous things out there where people have lied about, blatantly lied about. But because someone in your family was a victim of the same type of circumstance or, you know, same type of assault or whatever case may be, you have an emotional attachment to it. So you cling to it because supporting that person and clinging to that ideal, you're vicariously supporting your loved one or your friend or whatever happened. So it's like you want to extend your support. You know, it's like when you have people that you know that have passed away from cancer and you go out and you march. You want to support the other people, you know. But I've known some people that have lied and said that they had cancer for the support and the monetary donations that people would give. And it comes to find out, no, they never had fucking cancer. They was never sick. They just kind of starved themselves a little bit and they began to take on the look. But, yo, they never had cancer, were never diagnosed. But if you cast a doubt on that person saying, yo, I don't think he or she is really sick. You have a bunch of people saying, oh, that's fucked up. You got to believe people. That's because they want that type of platform to be sympathetic because someone that they cared about had cancer. And someone that they cared about, you know, may have passed away. So I get the reasoning why, but I think that we as people need to look into things a little bit more. No, not a little bit more, a lot of bit more. And understand that everything that someone says is not so. You have to research that. Some more people, and y'all might get mad at this one, but I really don't give a fuck if y'all get mad. Another thing about the Jussie agenda, I watched further documentary about Mr. R. Kelly, Mr. Robert Kelly, and I, you know, sat back and took it all in, and I realized that there were a lot of adult women, right, that are claiming to be victims and all of these different things. And one woman even left her husband. One woman quit her job. And these are grown women. When I say grown women, I mean women over 30. Okay? Over 30 in recent years. Say maybe 5 years ago, they were over 35 years ago. Okay? They're not the young, impressionable girls that found their way into concerts and were seduced and subsequently abused and mentally abused, you know what I'm saying, by R. Kelly. And which I don't give that a pass because, you know, a lot of times young girls don't realize the power of influence that a star may have over them, and they're overwhelmed. And, you know, he knew the power that he had mentally over these young girls, and he took advantage, and for that he is absolutely wrong. Please do not convolute my statement. What I'm talking about now is the grown-ass women that are on the platform saying, well, R. Kelly, he did this to me too. He did. Listen, y'all grown fucking ass women, right? If a motherfucker is able to seduce you, right, and manipulate you and do all this shit to you, pee on you, do all the other kind of shit, whatever that he did to the minors, right? He's able to do this to you no less than 5 years ago, after a whole bunch of media coverage came out, a whole lot of reports, allegations. He went to trial. All of this shit came out. He got married to Aaliyah when she was 15. All this shit that is fucking obvious. If a man can get you to still fall victim I'm using that word kind of like, if the man can still get you to participate in that type of activity, then your dumbass wanted it. And you're only a dumbass because now you're complaining about something that you consented to as a fucking adult. Those type of women are women that are using the Jussie agenda. Those are the type of women that see an opportunity to put their name out there, attach it to a scandal, right? And then from that point on, you're not, I'm just going to throw out a name. You're not going to be just, say, Erica Johnson. Now you're going to be Erica Johnson from the R. Kelly scandal. You know, you just attack your grown ass. You 40 years old now, but now you throw your name in, you put your name in the hat, and now everybody's like, oh, that's another one of his victims. That's Erica Johnson from the R. Kelly scandal. And all of a sudden now, Erica Johnson is the keynote speaker, paid keynote speaker at several domestic violence I don't want to call them situations, but domestic violence discussions, things of that nature. Now she's catapulted to a place where people are seeking her out for interviews, paid interviews, by the way, because they want to have more mounting evidence on R. Kelly or men, you know, such as R. Kelly, because there's a lot of things coming out now about Robert Kraft, who's the owner of the New England Patriots. They're trying to get him tangled up in a sex ring or whatever. You know, it's all kind of shit going on. But I call all of that kind of shit, I call that the Jussie agenda. It's the agenda of putting yourself, attaching yourself to something that's scandalous so you can get some notoriety. Because that's all that Jussie did. And for those of y'all that are out there, if you have an opinion on this particular subject, if you agree, disagree, whatever, call in. The number's 929-227-4646, 929-227-4646. Damn, I don't want to sound redundant, but like I said, it's a whole lot of bullshit going on. And I don't think people are digging deep enough into the psyche of people that use this as a platform. I think that is shit, as society, we're so conditioned to looking for a come up. We're so conditioned to view things as a way to put ourselves out there in the spotlight. Shit, I'm gonna reach on this one, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Shit, even Rosa Parks had the Jussie agenda before Jussie. And I say that because, you know, it was hundreds of women that were getting arrested for not, you know, giving up their seat on the bus. It was hundreds of women. She wasn't the first woman to be arrested. You feel me? But the NAACP saw something that could catapult their agenda. And they used her, right? Because she was the secretary for the NAACP. They used her as the face of the NAACP you know, movement when it came down to boycotting buses and things of that nature. They used it, you know, and now everybody's, oh, Rosa Parks. But there's hundreds of other women that did the same exact thing that Rosa did. Rosa Parks is nothing special. I'm sorry to break it to y'all, and I'm sorry, you know, y'all, you know, I'm fucking up y'all Black History Month thought process, but there's nothing special about Rosa Parks. She was not a fucking hero or heroine. She was not daring or any more daring than any one of the 100 other women that did the same exact thing she did. There's hundreds of other women that got arrested, that were abused by the police officers, that were dragged off the bus. Hundreds of other women. There was another young lady, I forgot the lady's name. They did a documentary and they did a film on her. They couldn't use her because I think she was maybe 16 years old at the time, and she was pregnant. So she wasn't good PR for the NAACP at that particular time. It wasn't good PR to use her. Okay, so Rosa Parks she was an older woman. She was a seamstress, lighter complexion. She was safer to use. She was more palatable. You feel me? For society and for the media to see as this woman that was in the predicament. So she was a safer bet. But Rosa Parks was no heroine. The NAACP helped and aided by her had the Jussie agenda. Take some shit that's going on or that's already happening, attach yourself. And I'm gonna go as far as to say, shit, maybe they said, yo, listen, Rosa, sit in the front, and the minute someone says to you, you gotta move in the back, whatever the case may be, make sure you telegraph us or make sure you give us the call so we can get down there and write on it real quick. Because women being arrested, specifically black women being arrested, black men being arrested, black people being arrested for not giving up their seat was commonplace. Okay, this is not some rare occurrence. You feel me? So maybe, just maybe, it was some things that was set up for when that particular incident eventually happened, that someone would be there to jump on it and then catapult their agenda. Like I said, the Jussie agenda. And that was before Jussie. Someone left a long comment. Can't remember who that is. That's Melissa Jones. Okay, why something? What? Something I say. I can't read that. My eyes is bad. Anyway, Melissa, you can call in. The number's 929-227-4646. 929-227-4646. You can call in. You don't have to just regulate your commentary to scrolling and going back and forth with people on the timeline. You can discuss this and hear your voice and express yourself a lot better. The number is 929-227, like the TV show, 4646. Call in, and I would love to hear your opinion, and you can voice it out. You can talk, curse me out, do whatever you want to do, but at least you can say it live, and you won't be censored. I guarantee you on that one. Y'all probably upset like a motherfucker over that Rosa Parks shit, right? I'm telling you, y'all have to. Okay, let me not say what y'all have to do. What I suggest that you do is do some research and understand just how people work and how the machine works. Oh, we have a caller. Caller, you're live on the air. State your name and where you're calling from.
What's up, Kyle? This is Brother Kyle.
Hey, what's going on, brother? What's going on?
Everything's good.
Okay, well, speak on it, brother. Speak on it. I always love to hear your opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wanted to touch on, I guess, two things. I know you doing the Jussie agenda thing, but I also wanted to touch on the thing you talked about with Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Because I said, like, I definitely understand, like I said, your position on that. But the other thing I would want to just like touch on is the fact that it's kind of good that he came out about that, because just from my experiences talking with people, a lot of people just look at that issue as a problem only suffered by females. You know what I mean? So,
okay,
the fact that he came
out a year later. I'm sorry to cut you off. He came out a year later about with that. And
gotcha.
In my personal opinion, the way that the media should have been alerted to that particular situation is breaking news. Terry Crews pushes or slaps the shit out of publicists who tried to grope him. That's how it should have came out. Because as a man, period, right? Someone makes an advance towards you, right? That is overtly saying, either I think that you're with this particular activity, or I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. Because I don't think that there's anything, Kyle, that says anything about you that says it's okay for another man, right, to walk up and grope you in a sexual manner. You've never given me that vibe like it's okay. Now, there have been some other people that I've been in front of, and I've been in their presence where I could see that they give off that they might be all right with it based upon their demeanor, actions, and responses to other things. But you don't give off that type of vibe. You feel me? So if Terry Crews doesn't give off that type of vibe, maybe he did. But if he's annoyed by it a year later, you're so annoyed by it, then why wasn't your initial reaction to be like aggressive? Because here's the counteraction. Dude that he would have slapped the shit out of, he would have had to explain why he did that. And then he would have been outing himself as a person who gropes other men. You feel me? So he had a lot to lose as well in terms of how people would view him. And then in that sense, because it was unwanted, the same way if a heterosexual man groped a heterosexual woman, because it's unwanted, the man that did that is still wrong. So even though it's a man, you still wrong because it was unwanted and unwarranted. So when you say that you're glad that he said it, okay, cool. I'm just talking about, bro, the timeline. You know, he capitalized, it seemed like to me, off of all the shit that was already going on. All the shit that was already going on. So it's like perfect timing. Now you get a chance to be the pioneer saying, I'm a man saying me too. You feel me? So I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I'm talking about the timeline in terms of when he did it. It seemed like it was calculated. Now, if
I'm saying, wouldn't that fall into the same, I guess, category of blaming, you know, a woman who was assaulted and coming out 3 years later saying that, oh, well, you know, I had this situation where I was sexually assaulted? Like, can you really put a timeline on that to say when someone should be comfortable with coming out with that?
Okay, here's my thing about the timeline on that. I'm going to give a scenario that is, I'm not saying it's probable, but it's possible. A lot of times women will do dumb shit. Men do dumb shit too, but we talk about in this predicament, women will do dumb shit. Women will trust the wrong men. Women will feel comfortable in the most uncomfortable positions because they feel that this guy won't do this or he won't do that. And what happens, they get a rude awakening when they are alone in a particular situation with a man and he does something to them that they thought he would have never done. You feel me? I still will tell women you shouldn't trust them to that degree, but whatever they did. And so now they're embarrassed. They're ashamed. Not because of the actual thing that the man attempted to do, but because it's a whole bunch of, it's like me telling you, yo, Kyle, you lent me your car, right, to run to the store, and yo, my dude, listen, I left the car running, I ran into the store to get something real quick, and when I came back outside, the car was gone. You're gonna look at me like, yo, why the fuck would you leave the keys in the fucking car? Now, even though it's wrong for someone to steal your shit, right? Okay, but we know that shit gets stolen. So now you're still gonna look at me in disbelief because I should know better. And so women, I think, that have been in sexual situations where they've been taken advantage of, a lot of times that pressure that keeps them from saying anything is because they have a fear of someone being like really like what the fuck was wrong with you? You know, like, what the fuck? You feel me? Because I would be like that in certain situations. Like, yo, what the fuck were you thinking? Because I think you're supposed to know and take these precautions. But a lot of women don't. And when they haven't and they become a victim of certain things, that in of itself and the embarrassment and the shame that comes along with it is what will prevent them from coming out. Now, when they see a bunch of other women coming out and it's a group of women, it's like, you know, going on stage and speaking to a crowd by yourself versus a group of people going on stage and everybody speaking out. You have the support of the people, of your fellow speakers. That spotlight is not just on you. So you have that support and you're not as nervous because you got a group of people that may be scrutinized or criticized versus just Kyle. So that's what I think is the big deal. Terry Crews, you know, it's a bunch of people coming out now. It's a bunch. So instead of him looking like, yo, why you ain't just do X, Y, Z to do? Why you ain't check dude right there? So and so and so and so. He gets to look like the pioneer male that comes out and is courageous enough to say this and say that. After 50-something people done already made allegations against another 50-something people. So that's my take on it.
That's a good question on that, though. Let's say Cruz did decide to lash out and, you know, check dude on this.
Mm-hmm.
what do you think that headline would have been? Would it have been Terry Crews text somebody, or would it have been angry black man attacks publicist?
It could have been angry black man attacks a publicist. It probably would have been that, or angry black actor, whatever.
Right.
But then now he has the platform. Now he has the platform. He has the platform to talk and explain, because everybody wants to know. TMZ wants the news. This person, they want the news. What happened? What provoked it? And he has a way to now say, well, here's what provoked it. I'm a heterosexual married black man with children. And this other man, who may be of a homosexual nature, took it upon himself to grope me. Now, I'm not homophobic. I have people in my family that are homosexuals. I don't care about that. But to invade my privacy, to invade my body as a man, period, is wrong no matter who does it. So now you got a bunch of people that would be like, oh, okay, now that we know what happened, now I see why he did it. Now I get it. But when you don't do anything, and then you come forward a year later, it makes it look kind of suspect. He might just have the Jussie agenda. He might.
Yeah, I get it.
So now, what's your opinion on the grown women I said that so-called fell victim to R. Kelly?
I think what you said is pretty much spot on. Like, after, because I think the biggest argument towards the whole R. Kelly thing is the fact that he's taking advantage of, young ladies, So if that's the premise behind it, the whole statutory thing, and, anyone after, the age of 21, like, why is this even a story with you guys? Like, this sounds like something that you saw as an opportunity, probably come up, just like, the thousands of people, women that sometimes go out to all-star weekends and looking for that come up, So I think that's, after a certain age, you shouldn't even be part of the equation, because the whole thing about this is them dealing with underage women.
And a lot of times when the plan of the person, I don't want to just single out women, when the plan of the person doesn't exactly work out, they seek a different type of empathy now. They are super victim. Like, Jussie's plan didn't work out. It didn't work out. I mean, he had I think Lee Daniels come out and speak on his behalf. He had like his fellow castmates come out and speak on his behalf, because they're like, damn, that's messed up. The black man can't walk around in any city in particular, just enjoying himself. And then you had some people that were from Chicago that as soon as the news broke, they were like, story's bullshit. Story's bullshit, because they know that Chicago is one of the most segregated cities, right, in the United States. Yeah. And they know that in particular areas of Chicago, you are not going to just be walking around in that particular area as a black man, because that's not where black people will congregate. Whether you're a celebrity or not, that's not where black people go. You feel me? So they know that particular scenario is highly unlikely. They know this for sure. You feel me? And they were calling bullshit on it the day. Man, listen, shout out to Janice Shelton who laid it down, and I reposted her status, and she basically broke it down, and she's like, listen, I'm from here. I live here. This is some shit I know. Y'all could be from Topeka, Kansas, California, Alabama, whatever, Tuskegee, Alabama. You could be from wherever the fuck you want to be. But this is, I know the whole scenario. I know how it is. This is my backyard. And I'm telling you, this is not how the shit goes down. This is not. And she got a lot of backlash. A lot of people talking shit. And amazingly, when it came out that the police department and everyone is saying that that's bullshit. Everybody's silent now. Yeah. Nobody's saying, damn, my bad. I jumped the gun. Nobody's saying it. Everybody's just silent. You feel me? So
I would say I was skeptical from day one, just from the fact that, like, one of the main things for me is, like, who the hell is thinking about beef with somebody in -12-degree weather? Like, that shit affects you physically to to the point that you should probably just think about getting the fuck home. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
But see, you're using logic, right? And logic and emotion very seldom exist simultaneously. You feel me? Because people have a need or a want to connect with something, and once they find something that they can identify with in some way, they bond to it. It becomes a part of them, and them a part of it, and they ride it because it stands for something as far as they're concerned. So you have a lot of people, like I was stating, that still don't want to believe it's true. Whether it's true or not, they don't want to believe it's true about him lying. They don't want to believe it, because then they have to question their sense of judgment. They have to question their sense of discernment. All cognitive thought now is on trial concerning them, because it's like, hold on, wait a minute. You said this, you said this, you said that. What were you basing your opinion off of? So now they got to recalibrate everything that they think makes them a person of wisdom and intelligence. And that's not something, come on, people don't want to be wrong in a general sense. Nobody wants to be wrong. We fancy ourselves as being intelligent. We maneuver around society. We got this, we got that. We know our shit. So you don't want to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And after you done talk so much shit, now to be blatantly wrong, it's kind of embarrassing to people. You feel me? So now let me ask you this question, right, Kyle? In the midst of the whole Jussie situation, what do you think should be his what do you think should be the subsequent actions concerning him? I don't want to say punishment, but people have done a lot of things that have endangered the lives of people with lies. What do you think should be the aftermath concerning him, or anyone that does that?
Well, my thing is just, at the end of the day, you should go by the law. You know what I mean? Because you're supposed to. Everyone should be accountable under the law. So if someone else did the same exact thing, the punishment, or the repercussions should be the same. But I've seen people that were talking about the with a swimmer, like then Ryan Batush or something like that.
The one that was in Brazil.
Yeah, the Brazil thing, and it was trying to.
Can you, if you inside an apartment, can you move to maybe a different area, because you've been coming in a little choppy? I thought eventually it would clear up, but your voice has been coming in real choppy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, much better.
Is it better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay. So yeah, like I was seeing people that were trying to compare the two, and my thing was like, Ryan's lie could have affected a couple of innocent people, because he could have said, it was this person that did it, whatever. But, Jussie's lie affects not only him, but like you said earlier, it affects every victim that, that has a similar situation here on out, because it's already been put, in a bad light that someone would lie about this.
What if, just say for instance, some gang members, in Chicago, said, "Yo, we don't care if he's a homosexual. He's a black man, and the first white person that we see, or we're gonna go out looking for some white people that may happen to be in the wrong part of town, and they gun happy, they care nothing about taking a life. And what if? Because this is a very probable situation, a very probable reaction. What if the subsequent actions was someone took someone's life in retribution for, what Jussie said happened to him? They went out on some, well, they did that to one of us, we're gonna do that to one of them. And they actually did it. And then it comes out that, oh no, that was a publicity stunt. You see, this is why I'm upset about certain things, because you build up the anger in people, right, from a false pretense. Now, it's all right. Listen, it's okay to be angry, right, at things that have happened to people in general, your loved ones. But if my daughter comes to me and says, "Daddy, so and so and so and so," I need to know exactly what the fuck happened. All right. Don't tell me no dumb shit because you were embarrassed by you did something and now you got to save face because now you have me going out there, your mother going out there, other family members going out there under a false pretense. And when everything is found out, we found out your ass was in the wrong. You was drunk or you did this or you did that and carried on, and the person just reacted as if like how anybody would have reacted. But it didn't happen the way you said it happened. See, that's the harm in these things. People putting that energy into the air. And shit, basically it's almost like you inciting a fucking riot. The riot may be inside people's hearts and inside people's minds and their conscience, but it's a riot going on. Because trust, I've seen people be in an uproar when they first heard what happened, and they said the "Make America Great" hat. Now you got everybody that if you voted for Trump, I hate you because it's your actions and it's your voice that prompted the men that did this to Jussie to do what they did. You see how it spreads out across all planes and all facets? It's not just one thing. It's not just one thing. White men put a noose around your neck saying "Make America Great." God damn, people gonna feel just like they felt after they watched Roots for the first time back in the days.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So so when I asked you what do you think should happen, and you said, well, the law. Is the law behind such actions justified?
Yeah, I guess from a total outlook of what damages could be done, probably not. And I don't know I don't know exactly what you can do to gauge that from a justice standpoint, because all that's at the end of the day is to the interpretation of someone else. You know what I mean? So like what he's doing or what he did in terms of his lie, like for us, we see it as something that was detrimental not only to him but to other groups and ethnicities, but someone else might not think in the same magnitude.
Okay, they might not think of it like that. However, what do you think in terms of people actually saying, well, listen, we had enough of the dumb shit? Because something has to be done. You feel me? You can't just let go.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to take it in what has happened. You know, they're charging him with, a felony for filing a false report or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if there's different severities that they can, charge him with that, but at the end of the day, that's all you have to go with right now. And I think, honestly, if it's proven to be, 100% lie, whatever, when all is said and done, honestly, I think society will probably handle the rest of the judgment on it, because people are going to look at him in a different light. People are not going to want to do things with him because he has that bad stigma that he brought on himself. So,
what's the deterrent for anyone else to try to not do the same thing?
I can't even I can't even think of anything, because people are going to look at their situation, because this is probably what he did. He looked at his situation as being something serious enough that he had to go to these lengths to make it right for him.
Well, question, because has this ever worked for anyone else? Like, what's his blueprint? Like, well, let me do this because it worked for so and so. It's like, okay, ever since and people think about Kim Kardashian when they come to sex tapes. It wasn't Kim Kardashian. It was Paris Hilton first. Well, really, it was Pamela Anderson, right? First. Right. Then Paris Hilton, then the Kim Kardashians, where you know, the leaked dick sucking tape somehow catapult them beyond fame, beyond their already existing fame into something different, right?
Right.
And so you now have something where women in general can say, well, hey, listen, it worked for them, you know. Mimi from what's the name? Shove and Shit Pop. That's what I call Love and Hip Hop. Shove and Shit Pop. They put out the sex tape. They got like maybe, you know, a few 100,000 off. They made some bread. It was a come up. Black China, to name a few. Like, a lot of these women have made these subsequent sex tapes because they've seen it work. Was there anything that you can recollect that fits Jussie's particular situation where it worked for them and now he said, well, let me try it? Because I'm trying to make sense of it.
So the only thing I can think of that
I'm deleting this chick that's calling me. I'm deleting this chick that's fucking calling me. I'm deleting this fucking broad. I swear on everything I love. I'm deleting her. I'm deleting her because her dumb ass is fucking calling me during, and her stupid ass, and now I see who it is. Her stupid ass is calling me now via messenger when I blatantly said, don't fucking call me. I'm going live via my fucking phone as well. Why the fuck you can insist on calling me? This is the shit that irritates me. See, she's the dumb broad. Let me go off on a little tangent. She's the type of dumb broad where someone would say, listen, don't go down there. They beating the shit out of people on site just because. And her dumb ass is saying, well, I know half the people that live down there, so they ain't going to fuck with me. And then she goes down there, gets her ass beat, and she limps back talking about, oh, man, y'all ain't going to help me. No, dummy. We told you what not to do, and you did it already. So now, because she blatantly saw me say what I said, don't fucking call me. It's like you tell somebody, listen, I'm on the phone with my sick mother, and I'm in the hospital with my father right now. I can't talk. And then as soon as you hang up the phone, they text you. Wait, really? I just told you I got a double situation I'm doing here. I can't give you my attention, and so you're going to force your attention on me? Okay. Sorry, Toots. Your ass is gone as soon as the show is over because you were completely disrespectful. But now, anyway,
yeah,
she just threw me off track.
Yeah,
I had to go on the tangent. I had to go on the tangent because that's some real dumb shit that people do, and I don't understand why. And her calling me caused the live feed to drop, which I had to pick up the live feed again, and therefore now I got 3 fucking separate videos where it was a bunch of people on one, and you know how fickle people are. They be like, fuck it, he keep going in and out. I'll catch up with him later. I'll watch the shit on YouTube. You know how people could be sometimes.
Yeah.
So let me ask you.
Yeah, we talk about the repercussions.
Yeah, the repercussions.
I would say honestly, one thing that might help, even though it's a different situation, if there was more, I guess more felony charges going up against, like for example, with women lying about rape, because that's a certain lie that ends up happening, and when it's found out not to be true, it's almost like, you know, it goes by the wayside. Like, you don't really hear about it anymore. It's like, okay, well, it didn't happen, and life moves on. I think even though it's affected so many people that weren't, that didn't do it, but they had to go through the scrutiny of being blamed for it. You know what I mean?
I think it should go by the severity of the punishment had the person been convicted. Because if let's just say someone lies and said, oh, he did this, he did that, whatever, and the maximum I was going to get was a $500 fine. Okay, cool. Right. It would have cost me $500 just because this person lied on me. So because they lied, right? Because they lied, they should have to pay the $500. Because they would, of course, their words would have cost me $5, right? And right. It would have been based upon my purported actions. So they should have gotten charged with a $500 fine or penalty. So if my crime that was based upon someone else saying he did it, he touched me, he did this, if I could have got a 1 to 3, they should have got a 1 to 3. Because of a person, if a person that really, if I really did assault someone, they wouldn't be concerned about, oh, if I'm lying, I'm gonna get a 1 to 3, because they're not lying. You feel me? They would be strong in their convictions. So there would be no fear involved, because some people are going to say, oh, that would be even more of a deterrent, because no, but if you're telling the absolute truth and you have facts to back up your truth, facts, right? Detailed evidence to back up exactly what you're saying, then you shouldn't have a fear about being prosecuted or like a reverse sentence where it's like, well, he was going to get a 1 to 3, and not because he was found not guilty. I'm not talking about that. That's something totally different, because a person could be found not guilty, which means that they just didn't prove that he did it. We're talking about when someone blatantly lied. You feel me? And it's proven that they lied. They should get the same penalty that was going to be handed out to the person. And I think that if that was the situation, Jussie might have thought different. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Sco Bay, call in, man. The number's 929-227-4646. 929-227-4646. Shout out to Sco Bay. Call in, brother. Call in, Esco. A lot of people don't even know what the Sco stand for, but shout out, call in, Esco. 929-227-46. Yeah, I want to hear more about that.
I want also to hit one more point.
Of course.
Because you can leave. You know what I'm saying? You can probably elaborate on this a little bit. Because my big thing about, I guess, the aftermath of this is I really want to see what the headlines is going to be. Because when it started out, it was, gay empire actor, victim, blah, blah, blah. I want to see if that narrative stays the same now that he's looked at as a criminal, or is he just going to be the black guy?
Oh, you mean if they're going to highlight him being gay? Or just,
right, because they highlighted him as being a gay victim.
Okay.
Are they going to highlight him as being a gay criminal as well? Probably not. Like that was a front and forth. Like that was a thing that was put, into the limelight, front and center when he was a victim.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying now that you look at it, he's going to be, probably find out to be lying and all this.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to look at that? The headlines are going to be the same to say, gay empire star found guilty of felony, whatever.
Hold on one minute. I think we have a caller, Slim. 5 callers? Oh, you was telling me to hold up. I'm sorry. To answer that question, Kyle can't hear me?
Hello, can I speak to Todd?
Okay, you're live on the air. Can I ask you what's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Melissa Jones, and I'm calling from Chatham County, North Carolina.
Okay, Melissa Jones. I want to cuss you out, and I'm apologize at the same time, because I think maybe you weren't aware, but I'm live from 6 to 8.
This is Todd. This is Todd.
Yes, this is Todd. I'm live from 6 to 8.
Okay.
No. Hear me out. No, hear me out. I'm live from 6 to 8 every Saturday, right? I'm live public on my phone and on YouTube. Why the fuck were you trying to call me? So I want to know, why are you trying to call me and I'm live?
Saying some messed up stuff. That's why the fuck I'm calling you.
Okay, well then why the fuck would you be so disrespectful as to call the show via my phone? Via my phone.
I wasn't even cursing.
No, because I'm gonna curse because I'm live via my phone. So why the fuck are you calling me? Listen, I'm being disrespectful right now because I consistently said it where you heard it.
Live and all that bullshit and cursing like that, get your game up.
Motherfucker, then hang the phone up. That's all. Gone. How else is deleted anyway? Get my game up. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not beyond talking that bullshit to a person that just wants to ignore what the fuck I'm saying. Because you call up and I'm calling from South Carolina, I don't give a fuck. You could be a man, woman, or whoever. If you straight disrespectful towards me or this show or anyone fucking else, you gonna get it. I don't give a fuck what you are, woman. I don't give a fuck. Even more so if you're a woman and I'm extremely respectful towards women and you take my respect towards women for granted and think because you have a vagina and you can give birth that I won't give it to you, well, y'all saw it. You got it wrong. So now back to me being nice. Okay? And fuck Melissa. Yeah, and I'm straight like that. Everybody knows I don't hold back. I don't, you know, I'm not, I'm going to act nice. Don't, you know, your ratings might go down. I don't give a fuck about none of that. If you are disrespectful towards the show, towards people in general, the fucking live feed dropped 3 times because her ass is consistently calling the fuck in after I said it while she's on the live feed to not call in. I didn't name her initially because I wasn't going to put her on blast. But no, she got some type of motherfucking privilege calling in, thinking because she's a woman that I won't blast her. Fuck out of here. So now I'm sorry, Kyle, and I apologize to the rest of you that y'all had to hear that. But sometimes you just got to act the fucking fool because people take advantage of you. I'm not Jussie. I'm not Jussie. So I'm sorry. Continue, Mr. Kyle. I apologize.
Yeah.
She could get on.
I'm just wondering, like I said, I just wonder if that same energy is going to be, you know, placed on his sexuality now that he's going to be labeled a criminal, you know.
Listen, I think that him being a homosexual was mentioned because, her calling again? No, fuck her. She called. No, fuck her. She don't even get the chance to even speak her piece because she was being disrespectful and she was on some bullshit. And I said I wanted to cuss her ass out and apologize at the same time, or one after the other, however, because she deserved to be cussed the fuck out. Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna get back to you, Cal. Ladies, and I say this, ladies. I'm extremely respectful to ladies. I'm extremely respectful to respectful women. I'm disrespectful. See, they held dumbass again. What I gotta do is decline and then block her ass. Okay, decline and then block her ass because she continues to call. This is probably one of the most funniest motherfucking what's the names? Funniest probably moments in a long time. I've never had someone continuously call me. Right? You're continually calling me after I've already said, like, what the fuck? Now I gotta pause my shit, right? Find her motherfucking ass, block her, and be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you serious? Get the fuck out of here. We ain't friends no more. You blocked. Period. Hold on, I gotta go to her profile to block her ass. Okay, because motherfuckers think that they have this, what you call it? I have this authority. Okay, now her ass is blocked. So she can't see shit. She want to curse me out. Go to the motherfucking YouTube channel. Go to YouTube channel. Okay, we back. Hold up. See, this is the unscripted shit, Kyle. You should have hit me up, man. You should have been here in the studio with me. I'm actually here. I wasn't supposed to be here today. I was actually supposed to be chilling while someone else did the show in place of Shanoa. But at the last minute things didn't work out, and so since it's my show, I'm not gonna have dead air. So I came on in.
Gotcha.
So if homegirl was talking her shit, whatever case may be, and she wanted to call in and she wanted to talk her shit. I was saying some fucked up shit. Fuck her. If she would have just approached me and just called in, which I put the number many times. I announced the number many times. Why the fuck are you inboxing, video calling me when it's blatant that the shit that you're reading in the live feed, that's the way that you interact? How you going to interact with me personally and I'm on live via my phone, dummy? These people are fucking incredible. Oh, man. Yeah, so what I was saying to you is I think that because of the nature of the crime, it was based upon, as he put it, it was not based upon, but maybe The focus was on him being a homosexual. So that was part of the crime. He was assaulted, in part because he was homosexual. It's like a person saying, young black man assaulted, and is being charged as a hate crime because racial epithets were being spewed while they were assaulting him. It's not like just two men got into a fight, right? And it's just man against man. When you talk that racial shit, that's a catalyst. You know what I'm saying? That spurned on the aggression and things of that nature. So they're gonna give the description of the person that was assaulted because that's a part of the whole crime. Him being gay has nothing to do with him being a liar. You feel me? I mean, you're a liar. You're a liar. So that's why I don't think that the media would say gay actor, because him being gay is irrelevant to him lying. That's his homosexuality or his sexual preference has nothing to do with him being a liar. You feel me? Because he can't say that he has a disadvantage in Hollywood by being a gay male. He can't say that. You feel me? His director, right. his director is a gay male. He may have even been cast in that particular role because he was a openly gay male. So I don't think that would be used to describe the aftermath, of his, situation.
Right, but in the same instance, it was both sexual and racial slurs that were being, that was said to be presented to him. The story seemed to have been more geared towards the sexuality part of the abuse.
Wow. It was brought to my attention that the guys the guys that he paid allegedly called him the Empire F word. Right?
Right.
And so if he orchestrated that, he used a word, or he wrote a script, right? He wrote a script using a word that he knew would evoke emotion in people. You feel me? That's how that's a diabolical fucking plan, man. That's a that's like going to a gym and you writing the script for somebody to come in there and say, "Oh, you fat motherfuckers." Right? You know it's going to evoke emotion and all the heavy people trying to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? So you know that it's right. Calculated, man. It's calculated. And that's the crazy thing, because you can't say he's insane. You can't say, oh, he's crazy. He wasn't thinking. No, because in order to put together a plan like that, I'm not saying he was thinking smart, but you had to have some kind of thought process that says, man, listen, nah, that shit not going to work. Let me try this. Man, maybe this should have worked. Yeah, let me try that. Shout out to CJ. I haven't spoken or seen CJ since, I think, 2010 at my birthday party at the Blue Room Lounge. So shout out to CJ. I see you. What up, Courtney? So, yeah, when it comes down to it, right, in the midst of all of these things, these allegations and these people jumping on the bandwagon, what's going to be different, say, a year from now? Like when all of these things have soaked into the psyche of people in society. Because, we get used to shit after a while. Like nothing is brand new after a while. So the shock value wears off. In your opinion, what's going to be the social climate towards, harassment, false claims, sexual claims, just the whole thing? What's going to be our, your prediction on the social climate in a year or two?
I actually think that, it's possibly, as I said, agenda driven, because think of the multitude of, killings of black people, unarmed black people by the cops. For a certain time period, there was story after story after story that you heard about. That story's now kind of like by the wayside right now. You don't hear those stories anymore. So it seems as if, it's like a desensitizing of these crimes and issues that's happening.
Do you think damn, I was going to say desensitized. You took that word from me. Do you think that in the near future certain things will be where now people feel like, man, they done talked about that shit so much, motherfuckers ain't even gonna believe you. So now they can go ahead and really perpetuate the things that people were accusing people of doing. You feel me? It's like,
Right.
how'd you say it? Not the society that cried wolf, but you get what I'm saying. People say things so much that it becomes blah blah blah. Yeah. We heard it before. Whatever. And so now, if you really wanted to do something, you could do it, knowing it's not going to be taken that serious. Do you think that might
Right.
come out of this?
Very possibly. Very possibly. And I think, especially to me, the way society has like transformed over the past couple of years, especially with social media, victimization has also kind of become fashionable. Like people are looking to put their hands up to say, "I'm the victim." So I think with that, like, which at the end of the day will probably become very dangerous again, because the actual victims are going to be the ones that suffer.
Well, you know what's something that I find ironic, right? Is when we think everything has been exploited, there's always something new. It's always something new to come about. We've had all kind of scams, insurance scams, car accident scams, all these different scams, and then you turn around and they put these laws in place that's supposed to regulate this and ensure that this doesn't happen, and sure enough, they come up with a new scam.
Right.
I don't know what the next platform will be when it comes down to people using that to catapult themselves as a stepping stone, because they just recently, like I said before, arrested Robert Kraft, who's the owner of the New England Patriots. And I read somewhere that they are now trying to attach sex trafficking to any particular sexual offense. And let's just say, for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. I go out and I solicit sex from a woman, right? Nothing actually happens, but I'm caught in a sting, whatever case may be. They're right when I exchange the money or whatever case may be. The police burst in, whatever. Boom, we got you for soliciting prostitution. If that woman was part of a sex ring, the caption will now read, Todd Fountaine, shit-talking talk show host, caught up in a sex trafficking ring. I ain't got shit to do with the sex trafficking. Like, I was just trying to get some head. I gave old girl the money and yada, yada, yada. And now I'm in a part of the sex trafficking ring. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's the equivalent to saying, a motherfucker that goes to buy a fucking a gram of coke is down with El Chapo. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't go
crazy.
that way. But the way that they'll spin it, right, for sensationalism, right? Now, damn near everything that you do is gonna have a negative connotation to it if they see fit. When I say they, I mean the powers that be, the elite, the ones that make the laws so you can break the laws and so they can make money. They will create things and put things in a situation where now if you do this, we've attached this to that, and even if you're not guilty of what they're saying you're guilty of, there's a stigma attached to it. Because see, now they like, it's like with statutory rape. You can have a young man who was 17 and a young girl who was 16, and they could have been boyfriend and girlfriend, right? But if the parent says he had sex with my daughter, or if he impregnates the girl at 16 and she has the baby and the DNA test is his, statutory rape. Even though 16 and 17 years old was normal average, that's the average age for having a boyfriend and girlfriend. That's normal. And sex, for that matter, is normal at 16 and 17. It's a year apart. And if you want to go intellectually, at 17 years old, the boy is more like 15, and at 16, the girl is more like 18. You feel me? So they'll take something and they'll spin it, man, to a way that, damn it, everything that you're going to be able to do now in 2 or 3 years is going to be criminal.
Yeah. I just find it funny that that they got Robert Kraft not too long after he started coming out about prison reform with Meek and them.
Yeah. That's another thing too. They'll use a platform also to destroy you. It's like, okay, you want to promote this? Really? You want to use that? NFL, and we talking about prison reform, and we banning Kaepernick, and all those good old boys sat around the table, and we had the meeting. We talked about this shit, but really, so this is what you want to do? All right, well, we'll dangle some shit in front of you to let you know you could get got to.
Pretty much.
You're not really one of us. You just got as much money as we do, but you ain't really one of us in the way you think. Because prison is big business, and a lot of billionaires make their billions off of the industrial complex. You feel me? And
exactly.
to bring it all back, because y'all be like, oh, Todd, you always go off course. Nah, not really. I only went off course on that chick that was breaking up my motherfucking live video, calling fucking 3 or 4 times about some dumb shit where she wasn't using the conventional method to contact me. And then since she was saying, fuck what you requested from me, fuck what you asked me to do, fuck how nice you were being in the beginning, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And that's why I handled her the way I handled her. And if you dig her, if that's your friend and your family, fuck it, be mad. But yeah, it all falls back to people using platforms of actual victims for their agenda. And I think it's unfortunate that people will do that, because it takes away from the plight of the actual victim if people are found out to be frauds. Because then now the people that were actual victims, now you looking at them like, hold on, wait a minute, was you really assaulted?
Right.
On another media platform, they were talking about energy that men give off, and they said that when it comes down to homosexuals and stuff like that, people that have that proclivity, they said that they can tell if a man is more likely to be acceptable to certain things than another man. And they said that if a guy tries you, right? If he tries you, some way and somehow he thinks that you might be open to it because you give off a vibe. And they were saying that Terry Crews seems to be a safe big black man. He jumps around, do his little fucking shuck and jive dance and all that kind of shit. He looks like physically he has the ability to beat your ass, but he doesn't act like he will. You feel me? Because of his antics. So he seems to be safe. Now, I'm not saying soft. He appears to be safe. You feel me? Appeals to be safe. So my thing is, why I've gotten angry, because a while back when I was in my teens, a dude sent me a motherfucking love letter. Matter of fact, it was a Valentine's Day. Motherfucker sent me a Valentine's Day fucking card. He gave it to his girlfriend, his girl that's a friend, and we were all friends of each other. But she came up to me talking about, hey, Todd, you got a secret admirer. And I was like, who the fuck is the secret admirer? And I read the card, and the card was like, oh, happy Valentine's Day, yada, 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 from your secret admirer. So I'm curious as fuck, and I'm asking her, yo, who is she? Who is she? Capital motherfucking S-H-E. Who is she? And she says, come around the corner. I'm going to show you. We go around the corner to the building right in front of mine, and I don't see nothing but this dude. So I'm looking around like, well, where is she? And the dude looked up and he was like, hey. And I was like, what?
Wow.
and my thing was, I smacked fire out his ass. Right? I was about 18 years old. I smacked fire out his ass immediately. Because my thing is, what the fuck makes you think I would even accept this shit? Nothing about me says I like dudes. Nothing. Ain't no inclination. None of that shit. I don't walk, twitch. I don't even gesture. I don't. Nothing says, you know. So that means the same reason why I became irate with the lady that was calling in repeatedly is because when I'm not taken seriously, right, I become enraged because that means you're not respecting me or what I project. And that's where the anger came from, and that's where that smack came from, and that's where me calling her, I didn't call her no names, but I talked to her real reckless and raggedy because you deserve that because you don't respect me, so now I'm talking to you how I want to talk to you. So my thing is, Terry Crews didn't give that dude the impression he would do that? Any of that? He didn't give the dude the impression that he would get cursed out? Nothing?
Yeah, I remember. This is Hollywood. That's all. It's
but
more about power. He could look at him and be like, "Yeah, I'm this scrawny white guy that got, millions of dollars, and I can do what I want." So he saw this big strapping black man. Because of my power,
he wouldn't have grabbed Tyson's joint like that. He wouldn't have did that. He wouldn't have grabbed Tyson's joint like that. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have did. He wouldn't even have grabbed. He wouldn't have grabbed Kevin Hart's joint like that. He wouldn't have did that either. They don't give off that image like if you come up and if you twist it and you decide to motherfucking caress my shoulder or pinch my nipple, that I'm gonna be okay with it. They don't give off that vibe to me. You feel me? So now, is there something about a person that gives off a vibe? And I'm just throwing it out there, and y'all can say I'm reaching. Is there something about a person that gives off a vibe where a person might say, well, damn, you know what? Maybe motherfuckers can tell that I really am a certain way, or that I am attracted to men as well as women, and maybe, just maybe, I need to be defensive now. Because I'm telling you, Kyle, listen, man, I've had some situations where, I've been around gay people, I've been in parties and all that kind of shit, and there's gay people all around. They're blatantly gay. You can see it. I don't care about that. I have no problem with it. I mean, you doing what you do. I've been around people that smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. I've been around motherfuckers that sniff coke. I don't sniff coke. It doesn't bother me. You feel me? It doesn't make me want to relapse. So I don't have a tingly sensation. I don't feel all warm and fuzzy inside if a gay person is standing next to me. I don't care. You feel me? And I never proclaim it because I don't have to. So if a dude rubs up and gives you a massage, he must think some type of way about you. As far as I'm concerned. Because he has to feel as though you just might not backslap the shit out of his ass for touching you, what you consider to be inappropriate.
Yeah, possibly.
You feel me? So somebody said what? Someone said what? Hold on. Let me read this shit right. Did I give off that vibe? I'm responding to Happily Janelle. Did I give off that vibe? Janelle, as far as I'm concerned, no, I didn't give up the vibe. We were young. He's a few years younger than me. We've known each other since we were like fucking kids. We all knew that he was going to be gay when he grew up. I mean, he was acting gay when he was 3. I mean, when I say acting gay, I mean he had very effeminate mannerisms. He had very effeminate gestures. He always wanted to play with the girls. He never wanted to play with the boys. We was throwing footballs and rocks, and he'd rather be playing with dolls. So we said to ourselves, yeah, he probably going to be gay when he grows up. But we didn't care because it didn't bother us. He was still our friend. My thing was, motherfucker, you know me. Fuck makes you think that was going to fly with me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you just said, fuck what he thinks. Fuck how Todd is, or whatever. Fuck all that. I'm still going to present myself to him, which to me was insulting when you have never seen anything that would indicate that this is how I am, or it's a possibility that it could be that way. It would have been the same way as if he offered me some type of drugs. I would have been the same enraged fit I had. I would have had the same, because what the fuck makes you think I smoke weed? Or what the fuck makes you think I want to fuck with coke? Like, what makes you think that? It's the same rage because you're not taking me serious. So in the question of Terry Crews, I'm questioning damn, damn homie, what made dude feel comfortable to do that to you? You know, I mean, listen, we all know we got some people that are, you know, homosexual in Hollywood, and that's cool. But don't be outraged about certain things where you put it out there to make yourself, for people to view you as a particular person, and then now you are claiming victim. And that's what I'm saying as well. A lot of people will use the platform to play victim, and it's just for their personal gain. They're not actual victims. You out there frolicking around, prancing around, doing these things, doing this, doing that, and now you want to claim, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. You know, a lot of women do it. They put themselves out there. They're at every all-star game. They flirt with all the players. They done fucked a few dudes here, there, whatever case may be. They got a reputation, you know, a reputable reputation for being loose with the pussy. You feel me? And then when the guy invites them up to the hotel room and says, yo, let's get it popping, and all of a sudden now they talking about, oh, well, you know, I wasn't this, I wasn't that, but you was like that with 30 other dudes, and now when you get to me, you want to act funny just because I ain't want to give you no money. You know, like the deal didn't work out the way that you thought it was going to work out. You thought you was going to put it on me, and all of a sudden I was going to be strung, and now I was going to be paying you bread and all this, and now I'm not doing it. Now it's like, fuck out of here. You just another piece of pussy, and so now you feel your feelings is hurt, and so now you want to come off as the victim. And see, this is what happens. This is what happens, and the whole premise of the show was about people using other people's platforms, using actual victims' platforms to promote themselves, and I don't think that that's fair. Because you're taking advantage of the actual traumatic situations of people. You feel me? And I don't. That's not cool, man. You're taking advantage of people. Period. Point blank. I was trying to read.
Yeah, I say especially.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I would say especially after he came out talking about he was a gay Tupac.
Yeah, yo, you believe that shit? He said he was the gay Tupac, and he said that live on stage. I mean, yeah. So now, see, once again, right? I'm sorry. I'm glad you mentioned that. You see what he did, Kyle? He aligned himself with Tupac, right? There's another platform. So now you got people that are fans of Tupac, really fanatics of Tupac, right? They worship Tupac. They got Tupac tattoos, and some of the people that have the Tupac tattoo and all that, they're gay, right? But now you got that black liberation, Black Panther, warrior spirit, and he's saying, I'm a gay thug. I'm going to stand up for mine. I'm going to do this. And all of that shit was a false narrative. You see how he aligned himself with certain things, and now you get the Tupac fans. You get all the people that sympathize with the black struggle. All these people are now like, just say, from a false narrative. You see now you see why I'm so against that type of shit. Now I'm seeing,
definitely.
Because had Tupac have lived, right? What do you think his story or his narrative may have been about life in general? Him approximately being close to 50 years old now. Had he lived, Kyle, what do you think his narrative would have been?
Like I said, the way he was going, it definitely would have been, I think, more towards, you know, the activism thing, because that's, you know, that's a lot of what he was promoting, like right before he passed. So I definitely think he would have been definitely a big advocate for, you know, activism for black people and rights and stuff like that.
But keep in mind, he would have been a survivor, right, of a shooting. I'm not saying, like, had he not gotten shot. I'm saying had he lived after getting shot. You know, because we have to incorporate his gang interactions. You know, all of the different things involved with death row. You know, all these different things. Because now Jussie's saying, I'm the gay Tupac. You're talking about the Tupac from 1995, the guy that's a mix of gangbanger and black nationalist and Black Panther. He's like a big smorgasbord of of feelings and actions, because some of the things he did was contradictory. Had he lived and had he survived and made more music, and maybe he wouldn't be with Death Row anymore. Maybe his whole demeanor would be different, like a lot of other rappers from that era that now think totally different. He may have evolved into a more conscious person and would have been like, listen, all of that East Coast, West Coast shit, that shit wasn't about nothing. It was bullshit. It was this, it was that, had he lived. So when you talk about, I'm the gay Tupac. Well, what the fuck does Jussie know about Tupac? Tupac got killed fucking 24 years ago. How old was Jussie 24 years ago? 11? The fuck did he know?
Yeah.
How did he identify? He's only identifying with stories and movies and documentaries. He's not identifying with an actual experience or feeling or resonating in him. He comes from a family of actors and actresses. He's not from the hood. You feel me? I did my study on him and the family, and his sister and everybody else, and all the things that they've done. He comes from a family of actors, of mixed race heritage. It's not the same, and he's out here false claiming, and some will say he's clout chasing. You on stage after this talking about I'm the gay Tupac? It seemed like he thought his plan was going to work.
Yeah.
See, because now, but before that, how many times have you ever heard of Jussie being on stage?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that part of his career at all.
But now he has the platform. Now he's that dude. You feel me? Now he can make appearances. Now people are interested. Now they want to do interviews. And now he can command a higher price. But damn, 65 stacks a episode? Come on, man. You doing what? Maybe 20 episodes? You know what I'm saying? 20 episodes a year? Damn, I mean, come on. What's that, like 1.2 million a year? You getting bread. You're not happy still? Listen, I can't call it. I just want to thank you. I'm not concluding the podcast, of course, but I just want to always thank you for providing an alternative viewpoint and also prompting me to think outside of my normal perspective, because actually coming to the show, well, when I got the call that the person that was supposed to be doing the show couldn't be here, I was like, oh damn, because I was going to do something else, but I was like, damn, okay, all right, no problem, I'll be down there. And I was like, shit, what the fuck are people talking about now? What the fuck? How can I hold people's interest for fucking 2 hours, just me, with no formal plan? And now read something about someone made a meme, and they had Jussie's face posted on the lion, and it said Lying King. As opposed to Lion King, it said Lying King. And I said, oh shit, that's what it's going to be. And I was thinking about a different angle. Because it's just not about Jussie. It's about everybody that takes a person's personal tragedy and uses that for their come up. And damn, we gotta hook up something, man, where we have an ensemble guests from people of all walks of life that have been guests on the show, and we all get here together. Even if I gotta add some more chairs or something, and we just share microphones and really kick it, because I think that there are core issues that people really don't talk about. There are things that are really, really important that once discussed and once implemented by ourselves, we can really make a difference in ourselves first and then in other people second. Because if I start viewing myself better, and in turn I treat you better, and we're around each other for an elongated period of time, it rubs off. So all that negativity and stuff like that people normally have, either you're going to rub off and make them a more calm and, concerning person, or even that person will drop out your circle. But people will say, well, it has to start somewhere. Oh, shit. It always starts at this table. You done sat at this table many times. It always starts here. I'm not condoning the bullshit. I'm not condoning the dumb shit. I consider myself to be like one of the nice people. One of the nicest people I know. One of the nice people I know. But yeah, I do lapse into my bullshit when people try to take me for granted, or just think that because I like to laugh and joke and say certain things that I can't be serious. Especially when I say I'm dead serious. You know, I try to extend myself to as many people as possible. I do things without credit. I do things without asking for credit, with no retribution. I don't want nothing from you. Just take what I have to offer, use it, and do your thing. Progress and move forward. I don't, you know, I'm not that type of person. So when I see people using people's situation for personal gain, I say, damn, do they have a conscience? Like, are you not thinking that maybe the thing that I'm doing right now in good conscience is really not worth it? Or do you just say, fuck it, I'm going to jeopardize the masses? And say, fuck it. Because the Jussie agenda is real, man. It's real. People out here suffering, man. It's people in therapy right now. People going through it. People having problems with their family members. Sisters and brothers are not talking. Sons and fathers, no connect. Mothers and daughters, no connect. It's serious shit going on out here. People don't even feel talking intimately with their mate. It's shit about their own mate they don't even know, because their mate doesn't feel comfortable enough to talk to them about it, because it's a stigma attached to it. Even if they have a backstory. It's like, nah, I can't tell them. Shit, there's some men that have never seen their woman's real hair. But listen, that's real talk. There's some men that have never seen that woman's real hair, because the woman feels some type of way with being seen without her weave. I mean, that's the state and condition that we are as people. Really? Really? And we're so conditioned to using and abusing each other for the greater good of oneself that we've just lost all motherfucking humanity. We've just lost it to a degree. And I'm just trying to be one of them dudes that just bring it back piece by piece, little by little. And I just want to personally thank you, Shanoa, my co-host. I haven't seen my co-host in about fucking 3 months. We got to put it into that, Shanoa. And, you know, I just want to, shout out people that have always supported me and always come here, been on time, and did what they had to do. And to push forth the movement of free talk and a free or selfless agenda. I'm sorry. Free talk and a selfless agenda, especially on this show. We don't have any censorship. Say what the fuck you want to say. Within respect to the people that are listening and of course, me, the host. And just feel free to let your nuts hang, or, let your vagina flap. However, wherever the counterpart to letting your nuts hang is. Just come here, have a good time, and laugh and joke, and let's discuss it, as opposed to just being mad at one another and using one another. So, yeah, like I said, man, much love and respect to you, concerning, things. So, on another note, how's things going with you, bro, in the general sense?
Well, good. I was trying to. I said you caught me on a good day, because I've been trying to recover from the cold. So I was in the house. So I was like, all right, let me tune into the show. And I was like, all right, because I actually was looking through the YouTube to see how it was, the live was through the YouTube. So I was like, all right, let me call in.
Did you get your taxes back, bro?
Yeah, surprisingly, like,
that means
I did mine, and I got one back.
Yeah.
The federal is normally quick.
I know. Yeah, that means. See, that was a trick question, because you never know who might be listening. So I'm not saying you owe anybody, right? But you might have some motherfuckers asking you to hold something. So you ain't want to let motherfuckers know,
bro,
that you got your taxes back right away.
No is very, very adamant in my vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
I'll say it quick.
Because tax season is, you got a lot of people saying, "Hey, what's up? What's going on? Long time no hear from." Yeah, how much you need? That it's that thing. I've yet to do my taxes. Got to do my taxes. I'm probably not gonna get back much, whatever. Because I made more money this year than I did last year. So probably not going to get back as much, but that's cool.
Yeah,
With the
especially with the new tax laws Trump put in place,
yeah,
kind of put a dent in what I would normally get. But it is what it is.
yeah, and I don't have any dependents. I mean, shit, my daughter's 26 years old. She does her own taxes. You feel me?
Right.
So I don't,
Yeah.
I don't have any dependents. So like you said, tax laws affect how much money you get back, and things of that nature. I have to incorporate again because I already have two other LLCs, but I have to incorporate another LLC to get another project that Libra Hart and I are working on off the ground, which is going to
Okay.
it's going to be fantastic. Going to be fantastic. I'm very adamant, and if any man out there, well, not if any man, for all of you that are listening, here's what I suggest to you, and I've said this many times. If you enter in a relationship, you should enter in a relationship where you trust that person. You trust that person to the degree in which you've seen them display, responsibility. You feel me? You may love a person, like a person, the sex is good and everything, but if you see them fucking up in certain areas, no, you should not co-sign with them, and you should not do shit with them just because they give you good loving. You feel me? When you enter a relationship, it should be like sort of kind of like you entering into a business deal, because I'm pretty much sure you wouldn't get in business with anybody that you couldn't trust. You feel me? That's why contracts are made, to hold people or bind people legally. But if you get into a relationship with a person, you should be in a relationship with a person that shows you or displays to you that, listen, I trust you. This is what it is. We're going to do this together, as aside from saying, well, this is what I'm doing. What you going to do? You feel me? And
Right.
Libra Hart and I are going to have a business together. Only because paperwork and shit like that. I'm waiting for my tax money to come in so I can pay for that shit, right? So we're going to have a business together. It's going to be a successful business because it's going to be driven with honesty, and it's going to be driven with the support of the people that I've supported and that we've supported. So stay tuned. It's going to be some real good shit to come. But my point that I'm expressing is, don't use other people's anguish and trials and tribulations as a platform. You can always create your own business ventures, your own opportunities through, your hard work. And I've told the story before. I was afforded this platform because I was invited to be a guest on Deshaun's show 3 years ago. And from me being a guest, when he had a particular thing that he had to do, he had an engagement he had to go to and couldn't make it, he called me and says, would you like to host the show in my place? And I was like, oh, okay, cool, wow. Now I'm pretty much sure he had a bunch of other guests on his show that he could have asked to host in his place, but he chose me. So I was like, wow. I had did radio before, but I never did radio TV. And so I was honored in having him ask me to be the host of his show for that particular evening. And when I thought about developing my own show, I wanted him to co-produce the show for me. Out of respect, because you don't give me the plug and then I'm just going to X you out. And he was like, nah, bro, you could do it yourself. You don't need me. He said, just talk to Slim and y'all work things out. And, you could do this on your own. You don't need me. I had did it on my own before. Not on my own, but I had been a part of an ensemble cast. But I knew how to do it. I wasn't scared to do it. But because I felt like he introduced me to this particular platform, it was only right if I cut him in. You feel me? But he was like, nah, this is all you. And from that point on, I was like, wow, I was shown by someone that, listen, I'm selfless. Bro, you don't even need me. You could do your own thing. I'm like, cool. And there's been many times where people have appeared on this show, and I've encouraged them to get their own show. Because I don't never want a person to be like, I'm undertaught. I'm undertaught. No, you have your personality and your perseverance and your drive is strong enough where you need to be an individual, not seen as someone that's taught people. No, be your own person. And from those experiences, I've learned that, like, listen, man, you can't keep it unless you give it away. And that's knowledge, experience, wisdom, and opportunity. You can't keep it unless you give it away. You have to be selfless, and you have to extend the same thing that was extended to you. You have to extend it to other people. You feel me? That's just the nature.
Right.
That's just the energy. You feel me? And the ironic thing is, Kyle, and I'm guaranteeing you, the more successful you become, you will have people that will stay away from you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because some of the advice that you gave them, they didn't take heed to it. And now they're ashamed because at one time you and them were in the same place. And now that you're way past them, they can't even look at you. Because you gave them the jewels. You gave them the jewels. You can't tell me,
Right.
me and you, if me and you sat down, say 3 years ago, and you said, listen, I'm telling you, invest in such and such. Invest in such and such. You got the money, invest in so and so. I'm like, whatever. And then 3 years now, your portfolio was crazy. And I'm looking at you like, yo, I should have fucking listened to you. I'm gonna avoid you. I'm gonna avoid you at all costs. You know why? Because every time I see you, I'm gonna realize how fucking stupid or stubborn I was. And I'm not gonna like the way I feel. So I don't want to see Kyle. I don't want to see Kyle because Kyle just pulled up in the brand new whatever, based upon his success and the shit that he tried to get me to do that I refused to do. So on that note, it's our time to go, Kyle. Even though I did the majority of the talking because you sick in the house anyway. Thank you, bro, for always calling in. I have to conclude the show. Straight No Chaser, the talk show, Talk Fountaine. I winged it by myself. I hope I was successful. Peace out.